Okay, we should be live. We should be live. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well on this fine Tuesday evening in the UK or wherever you are in the world. Pretty gloomy day. It's a pretty gloomy day out here. Sorry, really gloomy. But yeah, we'll start a little live stream. We'll talk some boxing. We'll see where it goes. Nothing in particular to talk about. I know I've put in the title Golovkin, Canelo, Joshua Fury, etc. But we'll talk about whatever comes up. Really, we'll talk about whatever comes up. I'm absolutely cream crackered as well. I'm knackered, honestly. Got no sleep whatsoever last night, and it wasn't for a good reason either. Just couldn't sleep. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a little bit knackered, but we'll keep on going, man. We'll soldier on, talk some shit, and we'll go from there, man. Yes, big up to Yes Sir in the chat. Jim McDonald Boxing here as well. Man like Del Boy, so it is. Hopefully you're good, fella. Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm just a bit tired. Levi Khan, as always, from NYC. Big up to Levi Khan every single time. Big up to Big Dan. I just woke up after falling asleep on the couch. How are you doing, Del? I'm doing good, mate. Just tired. Been a long, stressful day. A lot of shit going on at work kind of thing that I'm just kind of getting fed up with. But you know how it is. You know, just life, the grind, all that nonsense. Christmas coming up, spending a bit of money, a bit too much money. It's that time of year, man. As I get older, I hate this time of year more and more and more. I can't lie. I can't lie. Yeah, exactly, Levi. One of the most English sayings you could ever say. Cream crackered. It basically means knackered, tired, however you want to say it. Del, was you up? Fuck's sake. Del, was you up slotting one of those fat chicks again, sir? No, I wasn't, bro. I wasn't. I don't know where this has come from, man. This little fat chick thing. I'm a picky individual when it comes to that. I'm very picky. I've got standards, bro. Big up to the bump of K. Nice to see you here. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Hopefully you're keeping well. Most English saying is Brexit means Brexit. Jesus. It's going to be one of those ones, isn't it? One of those streams. We'll see how long we go. I can't even fucking speak. We'll see how long we can go. Maybe an hour and a half, something like that. Exactly, Johnny. See, with us guys who have options, we've got to be a bit picky, you know? You know how it is. But big up to Johnny every single time, man. Big up to Johnny. Yeah, cracked open a beer. Why not? It's that time of year. Why not treat yourself? Although we're stuck on Foster's tonight, which ain't great, but, you know, it does the job. It does the job. Yo, BG, exactly, bro. That's exactly what I've been doing, mate. Amazon Prime, jobs are good and no going out. None of this nonsense. I went Christmas shopping once, on Christmas Eve, and I would never again. Fuck me. Never again. Straight up Amazon Prime, easy work, you know? Easy work. That's how it's got to be, man. That's how it's got to be. But big up to BG London every single time. Okay, let's have a little swig. That's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys are keeping well, man. Hopefully you're looking forward to Christmas, spending it with your loved ones and whatnot. Hopefully you're all doing well. We've got a good weekend coming up. Golovkin's fighting. I know he's not fighting a great opponent, but it is what it is. You've got Canelo versus Smith. You know, there's some good fights this weekend. There's some things to look forward to. And also in the UK, obviously, DAZN has now launched. So I'll subscribe to DAZN this week to watch those fights. Be interesting to see how DAZN handles those fights. You know, how it streams, how it buffers. You know, if it freezes. I'll be interested to see how DAZN works, how good it is. So I'm going to subscribe to that this week so I can watch those fights. I need to do a preview of Golovkin versus Cesmaretta, but I just can't be asked, to be honest. I really can't be asked. Big Dan, he says, Jim, have you got Liz a Christmas outfit? Take some advice from Oscar De La Hoya and get the fishnet stockings. Yes, 100%, bro. You gotta love some fishnet stockings, man. Don't blame me, BG London, man. As I get older, yeah, I feel like I'm trying to close my circle, make my circle smaller, but every single year I seem to be spending more and more money on fucking Christmas. I don't know how it works. Don't know how it works, man. It's crazy. Johnny's Fight Palace. Speaking of Amazon, I'm going to start calling Unrivaled Jeff Bezos. He's the brain of YouTube boxing, laughing my fucking ass off. Yeah, Unrivaled knows his stuff, man. He really does. I've been talking to Unrivaled for a long, long time now. Probably 2 years, maybe over 2 years. Shout out to Mark every single time. Big up to Matt Heesman, man, for the super chat. Hopefully you're doing well, Matt. Thank you very much, bro. Good evening, pal. Hopefully you're looking after yourself. Don't know about looking after myself, mate. I don't know about looking after myself, but yeah, I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Been going a bit hard for the last few days. You know, long weekend, 4-day weekend. Went on a bit of a bender with the lads. You know, got a little bit too high and whatnot, but yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just get this shit year out of the way. Hopefully next year things start to get back to normal, and we can all return to some sort of clarity. That's what I'm hoping. You know. But yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait to see the back of this year. Next year, for me personally, I really plan on making certain changes in life. You know, changing my location, moving somewhere different. Yeah, just you know, freshening things up. Basically, you know, that's what I plan on doing next year. Cutting a few more people out of my life that really aren't really worthwhile talking to, if you know what I mean. Just gonna make some changes. JB Lo, yo, people, Fury destroys AJ, Canelo knocks out Smith. Hope everyone is good. Yeah, I'd pick Fury to beat Joshua. I wouldn't say destroy, as much as I wasn't as impressed with a lot of people with Joshua, but I still wouldn't say Fury destroys him. I still think Joshua is very dangerous. The only thing for Joshua, in my opinion, right now, is that he's obviously trying to change his style. And to me, he doesn't necessarily look comfortable doing it right now. You know, I believe he's still suffering some sort of, I wouldn't say trauma, that's too strong, but he's still suffering some, you know, mental demons from the Ruiz first fight. And I'm not the only one who believes that. I've heard a few people say that, like Hatman, for example. Big up to Hatman. He kind of saw the same things in the Pule fight that I did. I just watched his post-fight video today. And yeah, I'd favour Fury, but it's not an easy fight. Salute to Stephen Lawler every single time. Johnny's Fight Palace. Yeah, I've got $2,000 in my bank account. Ain't none of you fuckers getting anything for Christmas. I'm broke as fuck. I know what you mean, bro. I've saved some fucking pee, yeah, but I just don't. I hate spending money, you know. I just hate spending money, especially on Christmas, man. Hate it. Always have done, always will do. I'm a tight bastard. Nothing but coal in the stocking. Yeah, facts, mate. Facts. AJ Fury is going to be a draw if it goes to points. You wouldn't be surprised to make that rematch even more enticing. You know, sell more pay-per-view, sell more tickets. You wouldn't be surprised. I could easily see it happening. And obviously, if there's a draw in the first fight, that gives more scope for a third fight as well. So, wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. London's been put in tier 3. I still remain in tier 0, of course. Yeah, you just got to live your life, bro. At this stage, you got to live your life, see your friends, see your loved ones. You know, nobody's got a right, as far as I'm concerned, to tell you that you need to avoid your loved ones and not being able to spend time with them. Never. What are we, fucking communist Soviet Union? What are we now? Yeah, exactly. Colon and Satsuma on your jog. Facts. Big up to Minimax Boxing. Thoughts on Miguel Berchelt versus Oscar Valdez getting rebooked? Yeah, I saw that, Minimax. I believe sometime in February. I don't mind the fight. Stylistically, it should gel for a really fun fight. But I can only see one winner in that one, and that's Miguel Berchelt. Too big, too strong, too fresh. Valdez, to me, has been treading water for a long time. He looks extremely vulnerable. He's a tough kid. He'll always come to fight, and he'll give it a go. He'll land some good shots, but I just see him getting overpowered in that fight, personally. I do believe Miguel Berchelt is very good, I think he's very dangerous. But after this Valdez fight, I want to see Berchelt try and unify or fight someone like maybe Shakur Stevenson. I think they'll all be great fights for Berchelt. But yeah, I would take I would take Berchelt beating Valdez, bro. I really would. No worries, Jim. No worries, Jim. Take it easy, bro. Johnny says, "Yeah, I'm not even a Fury guy. It's not a cakewalk. Sorry, it's not a walk in the park." That being said, Fury takes his head off in 6 rounds. I think if Fury stops Joshua, I reckon it will be late, and I believe it will be on accumulation of punches when Joshua maybe tires down the stretch. That's how I would see Fury knocking out Joshua. It'd be a late stoppage. That's how I see it anyway. If he does knock out Joshua. Yeah, bro, BG London, I feel the same. I'm finding it a lot harder these days to stay up for these fights. I really am. This weekend, I plan on staying up for both the Golovkin fight and Canelo. So that's going to be 2 days in a row. Whether I can do it or not, we shall see. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm shot to bits. Like fucking, I don't even know who's shot to bits right now. Like James Toney or something. I don't know. Does Shakur lose to Berchelt and Tank? It's hard to say with Shakur Stevenson. I rate the guy highly. I think he's extremely talented, and I believe he's got a bright future. But those are two real hard fights for him right now. Much more experienced guys. Do you know what? I would give Shakur Stevenson a real chance in both fights, but I wouldn't want to say who wins just yet. I want to, hold my cards on that one for a little while. But I believe he's competitive in both fights. I really do. I think Shakur's a really good talent. Just needs to learn how to, switch it on a little bit, make it a bit more fan-friendly, take out these lesser guys he's fighting a bit more impressively. But his boxing skills are very good. Very good reactions. He's a quick guy, lovely jab. He's a real good boxer, Shakur Stevenson. Real good boxer. So I think he's going to be a hard night for anybody, even right now. But I do rate him. I rate Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, that's a good fight, yes, sir. Sorry, that's a good point, yes, sir, about the draw. But it depends on how the draw is and how the second fight goes, I guess. Big up to GD fan 6007. You hear about Mayweather versus Logan Paul? Yeah, I heard about it, bro. I heard about it. I'm not really interested. I mean, I don't blame Floyd at the end of the day. I mean, if I was him and that easy money just, appeared, I would take it as well. But I'm not really interested. But I don't blame him either. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Yeah, BG London, bro, it's getting insane. It's absolutely insane. Another lockdown after Christmas. I'm losing track with this bollocks. Yeah, you can see the next lockdown happening maybe mid-January because everybody's been seeing each other over Christmas. You can see it happening right now. They're treating us like absolute farm animals right now, man. I've just had enough of it. I've been living my life the best I can, regardless. So I've not been wearing a mask. I've been seeing my friends and whatnot, but still, there's things you want to do that you can't do, and it's starting to really wind me up right now, man. It really is. Jim McDonald boxing. When Shannon Courtenay goes for her morning run, her fanny whistles in the wind, so it does. Peace out, lads. Yeah, big up to fucking Jim McDonald, man. Shot to bits like Jessica Sushi's cunning. Jesus. Fuck me. Have you seen Mikey Garcia? He's packed on the pounds. Sorry, have you seen Mikey Garcia? He's packed on the pounds. George Groves too, but Groves is retired, so it's acceptable. Yeah, Mikey Garcia to me has always had it. Mikey Garcia's never really been fully invested in boxing. He's always had his exit strategy like penned out. He wants to be a cop. He's even said himself that he doesn't really enjoy boxing that much. He only really does it because, his family are involved. He tried it and he was good at it. That's the only reason Mikey even boxes. And, you can see that in Mikey's career choices. He's a bit of a mercenary in that regard. He's not really here to, cement a real good legacy. He's looking for the big paydays and basically to get out. That's what Mikey's looking to do. My days of seeing Mikey Garcia as a top fighter are long gone. The guy's sticking around for money, basically. And at least he's been honest about it. So Bump of K, Camille says Moretta. I've seen a little bit of him. He's a former European middleweight champion. Not much of a puncher. He can box a little bit, but he's going to get washed by Golovkin. If Golovkin has 60% left, he's going to get absolutely washed. You know, a poor mandatory, in my opinion. A pretty poor mandatory. I think AJ would give Fury some issues and would be one of his toughest fights to date. However, I do favour Fury by decision in a 9-3, 8-4 type of fight. I just see AJ gassing down the stretch. Yeah, I agree, bro. I don't think it's not as easy as Fury fans say, in my opinion. Nowhere near as easy. Joshua's very dangerous. He can box a bit, power in both hands. Joshua can fight. He really can, but over a 12-round duration, if you can't knock Fury out, I can't really see him winning that fight personally. Joshua's got a puncher's chance in that one, but I don't see him doing it personally. I really don't. Who knows, though? Maybe he could. Paul123, what's going on with Chris Eubank Jr.? Feels like he's gone completely off a radar since that breakout win against DeGale. It's a shame because he's fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, he fought last year against Matt Korobov. He kind of got that fortunate win when Matt Korobov done his ankle or his shoulder, whatever it was. And yeah, he's done nothing since. But, you know, Eubank's been inactive for a long time. And people have forgot about him, basically, like you said. People have forgotten about him. So hopefully next year we see him in a big fight. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Chris Eubank Jr. versus Jamal Charlo. Both guys are with Al Heyman. Both guys are middleweights. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that next. I think that could be a fun fight. Eubank always comes to scrap, but yeah, Eubank right now is in no man's land. Hopefully he fights soon. Nicolino Loche in the chat. Big up to Nicolino. Back straight out of Argentina. Johnny's Fight Palace. People need to slow their roll on Shakur. If anyone thinks he's ready for some Lomachenko action, you're in a bad reality check. He's talented, but people need to slow down. I agree in regards to Lomachenko. That's too soon, but, you know, I think he can beat certain guys. I was asked maybe 12 months ago about, I think it was Shakur versus Josh Warrington. I said right then, I felt Shakur would beat Josh Warrington. I think he can beat certain guys in and around featherweight to super featherweight right now. You know, but there's certain fights right now that he's not ready for. Yeah, I agree with Belanga, Johnny. Belanga's fought absolutely nobody. He's fought absolutely nobody. Yeah, he can punch. That's clear. He's a strong kid, very aggressive. But what happens when you fire back at him? What happens when you don't stand in front of him? You give him a jab, you move, you make him close for distance. What happens then? There's so many question marks about Edgar Belanga that we've not had answered yet. So I'm not convinced about Edgar Belanga at all yet. And I'm a guy who likes prospects, as you know. I like to see prospects and guess who's going to be the next guy. With Edgar Belanga, there's something telling me that I need to hold my fire, and that's what I'm doing. That's beautiful. Yes, sir. List of 90s guys that beat Joshua in their prime. Tyson, Bowe, Lewis, Mercer, Foreman, Iyabuchi, Tua, Ruddock. Do you know what? I think Joshua could beat an old Foreman, to be honest. I think Joshua could beat an old Foreman. I think he could beat Ray Mercer. They'd be tough fights, risky fights, but I think he could beat those guys. 90s Tyson, I'd favour 90s Tyson. I'd favour, you know, an informed Riddick Bowe. I'd favour Lennox Lewis. Ike Iyabuchi, I think I'd favour him. David Tua. Do you know what? If Joshua boxes on the back foot like I did Ruiz too, I think Joshua could beat Tua. Razor Ruddock. That's a good fight, that is. Razor Ruddock. I think that's 50-50. They're all good fights, though. AKA skins. Facts. Nick Campbell, Joshua would have to come out fast like Lennox Lewis versus Michael Grant or Galotta to have any chance versus Fury. Fury's a slow starter. Yeah, Fury likes to take a look. Apart from like the Deontay Wilder fight, he does like to take a look. You know, he's kind of he's economical with his punches. Yeah, maybe that's a good shout, Nick. Maybe that's a good shout. Be safe. I think he would beat Galotta personally, Anthony Joshua. I think he would knock out Galotta. I'm sure of it. Andrew Galotta is too much of a head case. Once he starts getting caught, I think Joshua would take him out, to be honest. But Galotta was very talented on his. He was very talented, just never had the mentality. Big Dan, late December, early January is going to be the biggest and most strict lockdown yet. Then COVID-21 by February. You're probably right, bro. Okay, so Valdez versus Burchell is February 20th. Okay, that's a good fight. I like the fight. Joshua's purse was 20 million. Steve, that's still not bad, man. When he's had a purse cut, man. That's pretty solid, man. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Mikey's hanging out too much at Dunkin' Donuts with the other porked products. Yeah, Mikey wants to be a cop, doesn't he? Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that gloves up boxing. Now that's a good fight. Caleb Plant versus Chris Eubank. I like that fight a lot. I'm not sold on Caleb Plant. I've said that for a long time now. I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on his gas tank. I'm not sold what happens when someone puts it on him. His face marks up. He can be hit down the stretch. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight, actually. I'd favor Plant, but it's a good fight. Yeah, 1 second, lads. I've just got something to sort out. 1 second. But yeah, Plant versus Eubank's a very good fight. I think that's a good test for Caleb Plant right now. Type of fight he needs before he tries to unify. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he got injured again. Fucking joke. Korobov needs to retire. Yeah, but Johnny, that fight was pay-per-view in the UK. Absolutely ridiculous, man. De Gea was shot to bits, though. He was absolutely shot to bits in that fight. The Badou Jack fight took everything he had left. He got fucked up in that fight. And Eubank basically, he just took what was left. It's one of those fights, man. Really, really ugly fight. Minimax Boxing, he says Caleb Plant would embarrass Berlanga. Yeah, I'd favour Caleb Plant right now. Far more proven. Berlanga's beat absolutely nobody, like I said. He's knocking over stiffs right now. Guys who are basically coming there to lose. Nobody's there to really test Berlanga right now. So, Berlanga needs to be stepped up in 2021. Maybe Vaughan Alexander, for example. A guy who's tough, durable, good chin. That's who he needs. 1 second, lads. Be with you guys in 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I had to sort something out quick. Where were we anyway? Where were we? Where were we? He says, Paul 123, Joshua would beat Usyk undoubtedly for me. If the Tajura fight showed that Usyk just isn't big enough to be a top heavyweight, he'd be mauled and there's no chance he can nick a decision against the cash cow. Yeah, the point in regards to the decision's a very good point. You've really got to beat someone like Joshua or Fury clearly right now to get a decision. That's true. But I don't necessarily believe the Tajura fight is an indication that Joshua's going to maul Alexander Usyk. Joshua's never really been that sort of fighter. He's never really been like a gung-ho sort of pressure fighter who really applies all of his strength. He's always been a guy who's boxed, whether it's on the front foot or on the back foot. He's not this reckless kind of guy like Chisora is. So I don't know about it, If Usyk takes him down the stretch, I wouldn't be shocked if he could stop Joshua based on accumulation. Just pure accumulation, like body work, just tapping away. Stranger things have happened, Who thought Mike Tyson was going to get stopped by Evander Holyfield, for example? And I'm not saying Alexander Usyk's Holyfield, but, stranger things have happened. You never know. You never know, man. Nicolino Loche, I don't think Tua would have beaten Joshua. I agree, bro. I think Joshua could have stuck and moved in that fight behind the jab, keeping it at range. David Tua had a real good left hook, as we know, but his feet were exceptionally slow. And if he can't close the distance, Joshua wins that fight. But if he tags Joshua, he could knock him out. He definitely could. Respect, mate. Hope you're paying your debts, mate. Big up to Truth Sons, man. Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Big up, man. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much. Shit. Big up to Truth Son, man. Joshua's no Lennox facts. I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, I saw that, Mr. Relax. So Tim Zhu versus is it Matthew Brown, whatever his name is, and Paul Gallen versus Mark Hunt in the morning time for us. I think should be about midday in the UK, Mr. Relax. I'll be interested to see Tim Zhu again. I like Tim Zhu. I think he's a real good prospect. I think he's a good prospect. He's come on a long way since I first saw him, Tim Zhu. He's come a long way. He really has, man. Come a long way. Levi Khan, Mark Hunt should beat Gallen if he's anything but completely shot. Yeah, but Mark Hunt's not a boxer. Mind you, Gallen absolutely sucks. And he's not really a boxer either, so let's be honest. It's going to be a mauly shit fight, I would say. Johnny would have Big George against Joshua. See, I'm not sure about the 90s Big George. He could do it, don't get me wrong. He could catch Joshua. That could happen, but I don't know. Yes, sir, he says Tua would Ruiz's ass. It could happen, bro. If Joshua goes in there with the wrong tactics, he could get knocked out. He would get knocked out against Tua because Tua had a great chin. If Joshua goes in there, yeah, and trades with David Tua, he's getting knocked out. He would need to box and move in that fight. Simple as that. No sitting in the pocket, waiting there too long. Just use that jab, use the straight right hand, circle him, move away from the left hook. That's all he would need to do in that fight to win. But it's very dangerous. Simon Coulthard, 4 potential unification or undisputed fights next year. Joshua versus Fury, Taylor versus Ramirez, Charlo Teixeira or Castano, and Lopez versus Haney. Hopefully we get all of those fights, bro. I'm very doubtful on Joshua Fury for some reason. Just feels too good to be true. Taylor Ramirez should happen from what we're being told. Jack Catterall's accepted step-aside money, so that fight should happen. Charlo Teixeira Castano is realistic. Lopez Haney, I mean, Haney's with DAZN, Lopez is with Top Rank, so that fight's got a few things to get through, but hopefully all of those fights happen next year. It would be amazing to have those undisputed champions by the end of 2021. It really would do. That's what we need in boxing, you know, those sort of fights. I agree with this. I agree in regards to Riddick Bowe being a stylistic nightmare for Joshua. Quick, snappy jab, big boy, and is a beast on the inside. Yeah, Joshua can't compete with Riddick Bowe on the inside. Could he outbox Riddick Bowe on the outside? Maybe for periods of time, but you can't see Joshua keeping Bowe at arm's length for long periods of time. I think Riddick Bowe would swarm Joshua and drown him basically. Be a fun fight. It'd be a fun fight, but yeah, I'd take Riddick Bowe in that one. I'd take Riddick Bowe. See, I'd like to see that fight as well. I'm absolutely convinced that David Benavidez would beat Caleb Plant. Absolutely convinced of it. I think he would drown him just by accumulation, aggression, size, speed. He never stops punching, Benavidez. Never stops punching. And Caleb Plant's a guy who likes his time and space. He picks his shots. But I don't think that guy likes to fight. I really don't. I saw signs in the Uskatigi fight where he was gassing out, the Porky Medina fight where he was gassing out, and those guys never really had much success. They wasn't really applying effective pressure. What happens when you got a big fat cunt like Benavidez constantly applying pressure, throwing punches, hand speed, body work, angles? I think Caleb Plant's going to get broken in that fight. I really do. I really do. It's going to be like Cotto versus Margarito all over again. The first fight. That's how I see that fight going. But it'll be a fun fight. It'll be a fun fight. There's no doubt about it. And that's the sort of fight we need for next year. You know, that's the sort of fight we need. Hopefully we get them. Hopefully we get them. I keep on losing my thing. Tommy Morrison versus Dillian White. That's a good fight, BG London. That's a real good fight. That's basically a battle of the left hooks. I think Tommy Morrison was more naturally gifted, more athletic, maybe faster. But I think Dillian White actually is more durable. I know the guy's been knocked out twice, but who did he get knocked out against? You know, Joshua and Povetkin, both guys who can really bang. Listen, if Michael Bent can knock out Tommy Morrison, so can Dillian White. But again, Tommy hits hard enough to knock out Dillian clean. So that, to me, that's a 50-50 fight, genuinely. I think that's 50-50. I might lean towards Tommy based on speed, based on explosiveness. But That's a real good fight. That's a real fun fight. Really good fantasy fight. I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see that. Very good fight. Nicolino Loche. AJ just needs to avoid Joshua's clinch. Sorry, AJ just needs to avoid Tyson's clinch work and work off his back foot for a good 1-2. Yeah. And this was the 90s Tyson we're talking about. The 90s Tyson wasn't anywhere near as good as the 80s Tyson, so maybe Joshua could beat the 90s Tyson. I still think it'll be a very hard fight. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Levi Khan, Belanga's way overrated fighting nobody. Yeah. Listen, man, he looks fun. He looks good. He talks for talk. He's marketable. But who's he beaten? Who's he really beaten? His best win is what? Larnell Bellows? I mean, who's Larnell Bellows? You know, the guy needs to fight some durable guys who can go rounds. Guys who can test his chin, test his body, test his heart, test his stamina. That's what he needs in his next fight. It's all well and good having these first round knockouts. It looks great. It looks beautiful, but does that prepare him for the next level? I'm not sure. I mean, I've already heard people talk about Canelo versus Edgar Berlanga, for example. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. A-Blacks, aka Skins, is a mouse looking for Joshua's leftovers. He is, bro. He is. Levi Khan still laughing at Frank Warren for getting Dubois and Yard both beat in successive weeks. Come on, son. Yeah, I mean, you could see it. You could see it in regards to the Joyce fight. It was a big risk. It was a really big risk, and it backfired. I really don't think he believed that Arthur was going to do that to Yard, though. With one hand he beat Anthony Yard. I mean, Anthony Yard really now needs to go back to the drawing boards and, rip everything up and start again. He needs to get rid of Tunde Ajayi. In my opinion, he's not good enough as a coach. And he stunted the growth of Anthony Yard. I believe Anthony Yard naturally is a talented guy. He's very athletically gifted. He's fast. He can punch. But I think he's had the wrong coach in the last few years. I really do. I really do. Matt, anyone else think that Fury's offense is a bit overrated? Always looks crude going forwards, even up until Wallin. Wilder's shit inside game flattered him. Don't see him walking down Anthony Joshua the same way. Matt, I totally agree. Now, I've said this in the past. I think that same style that he used against Deontay Wilder is a lot more risky against Joshua because Joshua, for one, carries power in both hands. He's got a far greater punch repertoire. Excellent at mid-range. He can fight a little bit on the inside, Joshua. He's just far more well-rounded offensively than Deontay Wilder. Yeah, his right hand, his straight right hand, is not as powerful as Deontay's, but he's got far more versatility in regards to his offense. So coming forwards against Joshua, to me, is more risky. However, if he boxes Joshua, I don't believe Joshua can box with him. I think I think Fury needs to revert to type against Anthony Joshua. Make Joshua take the front foot, make him take the lead, and make him force the fight. Box behind the jab, stick and move, change angles, change levels. I think that would befuddle Joshua. Sorry, that's how I believe Fury should go about that fight. I'm not saying he can't win that fight aggressively. I just believe it gives Joshua more of a chance to win. Saunders has a better resume. Yeah, he does. Oh, Johnny's not having it. He says Plant gives Billy Joe a fresh birthmark on his other cheek. Do you know what? I'm not... That fight for me, I think I might favour Billy Joe, to be honest, just because I don't trust Caleb Plant. I don't trust him. I really don't. There's something about that guy I just don't trust. And I think he'll get beat real soon. I really do. Who has the best resume in heavyweights? If you're talking about pure depth, I would say Joshua. If you're talking about best 2 wins or like the biggest standout wins, it's Fury. So it's kind of mix and match right now. Doesn't really matter to me anyway, but that whole debate doesn't matter. These guys need to fight each other. I don't really care who's got the best resume on paper. I care about who the best guy is. The only way we're going to find that out is when these guys fight each other. And that's going to be the proving ground. So hopefully we see it soon. Hopefully we see it soon. Yeah, exactly, bro. Imagine Eddie getting AJ and then Boatsy sparked in 2 weeks in a row. Yeah. I saw that BG London. I saw that BG. Fuck me. I mean, I doubt that money was real, personally. I doubt it was real. I think Connor's fighting anyway in early next year. That's what I heard. I heard he was fighting Dustin Poirier, which will be a good fight. That'd be a very good fight. Stephen Lawler, in my opinion, Blowjob Saunders is the weakest of all of the 168 champions. Smith, Plant, and Benavidez all beat him, in my opinion. You could be right, bro. You could be right, Stephen. I wasn't impressed with Billy Joe against Shifa Isufi. I wasn't impressed with him against the Argentinian guy. He looked better against Martin Murray, but Martin Murray was shot to bits. So Billy Joe at 168 is still an unknown, in my opinion. But head to head, I think he's better than Caleb Plant, personally. I think he's a better boxer. A bit more active, but that'd be a good fight. I mean, why not make that fight? Why not? Why not? We need more of these cross promotional sort of unification fights. That's what we need right now because there's certain fights right now that nobody's even talking about purely because they're different promoters, and that's one of them. That'd be a good fight. Billy Joe versus Caleb Plant. Big up to Crazy D3 every single time. Yeah, AZ, I put a few bets on this weekend. I bet on Nakatani beating Felix Verdejo. I won some money on that, and I bet on by knockout as well. So I got knockout Nakatani at 9-1. I actually made a betting video on the weekend's fights, and I won money on the Nakatani fight. I won a bit of money on Hughie Fury on points. I lost money on Joshua because I picked Joshua 5-8, and I lost money on Sergey Kuzmin. But overall, the whole weekend I made money. So yeah, I've done okay. I've done pretty well, which is always nice. Oh, big up to Matt again, by the way, for the super chat. I didn't see this one come through. Wasn't showing on the old StreamYard, but big up to Matt, 100%, man. Plant looks fringe world level, masquerading as world level. Yeah, Matt, there's something about Caleb Plant I don't trust. I believe the guy, he looks pretty when he boxes. Like it's pleasing on the eye, but to me he looks like he's going to get busted by pressure. I truly believe David Benavidez is his kryptonite. Like his style is Plant's kryptonite. I'm not sold on Caleb. I'm really not sold on him. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We'll see. We shall see. Yes, 100% official. Hit the like on your way in every single time. Every single time. Levi Khan, Jeff Lacey versus John Ryder. Who you got and what method, Del Boy? Damn, that's a good fight, you know. Jeff Lacey weren't quite as bad as people make out. It's just really that he was overhyped and Calzaghe ruined him. But before he lost to Calzaghe, he did knock out Robin Reed. He was a solid fighter, Jeff Lacey. Would he beat John Ryder? Ryder at his best? I think it'll be a competitive decision to Jeff Lacey. That's how I would say it. Competitive decision, Jeff Lacey. Big up to Titus in the chat. Titus Peace Kalanga. Big up to you, sir. Big up to D as well, man. Nice to see you here, bro. Nice to see you. I agree, D. Belanga's being brought up terribly. We all know how this story ends. We do, bro. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Deontay in a sense. Edgar Berlanga needs to fight guys who can just go rounds, you know, ask a few questions of him. Someone like Vaughan Alexander would be a real good test right now, in my opinion. Maybe the guy who Benavidez last fought. What's that guy's name? The Angulo guy who beat Anthony Sims Jr. That would be a good fight for Berlanga. You know, tough guys who can ask a few questions. But these guys he's fighting right now, I mean, they're there to get knocked over, basically. What's he going to learn from that? What's he going to learn? Big up to AA Boxing and Blunts. Every single time. Every single time. Nice to see you here, bro. Yeah, I saw that JDav Yard tweeted changes need to be made. Tunde out? Question mark. Maybe, maybe. I believe Anthony Yard needs to change trainer. I think the time's come at this point. You know, Anthony Yard, like I said, he's a real athletically gifted guy, fast hands, good power. I believe, honestly, if the guy started with a better trainer earlier on, I think he'd be much further ahead, Anthony Yard. I think he'd be much further ahead. Not saying he'd be a world champion or anything like that, but I just believe he'd be a better fighter for it. I've not really seen any improvements from Anthony Yard in a long time. In fact, against Lyndon Arthur, he looked even worse to me. He looked really poor against Lyndon Arthur. Really poor. Big up to Adam Moore. Hopefully you're keeping well, Adam. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. Plant's going to be in trouble against a high-level counterpuncher. I agree, bro. There's certain moves that Caleb Plant does where he's just open for certain shots. Like when he jabs to the body, yeah, he just... It's hard to explain, but he just looks so open, man. He's so telegraphed. He kind of hangs in there far too long. Caleb's going to get beat up by a good pressure fighter, in my opinion, a good counter puncher, like officials said. I believe the guy's there for the taking. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see the hype with Caleb Plant. I really don't. I really don't. And the way he's gassed out listen, it wasn't terrible. Like it wasn't like he was hanging on for dear life, but the way he tired against Uskatigi and Porky Medina in fights which weren't really that hard, it makes me wonder what happens in a real hard fight with Caleb Plant. It makes me wonder. You can't give Fury credit for his resume without rating Wilder highly. Joshua has the best resume, hands down, in my opinion. Yeah, I think Joshua's got more depth. Like more... It's just more like more consistent in regards to the guys he fights. But to me, the best wins of both guys, it's like night and day. Like obviously Fury fought a better version of Klitschko away from home as well. And he fought Fury away from home as well, you know, twice. So I think the best wins, the standout wins, clearly go to Fury. I think the depth and the consistency of fighting top guys goes to Joshua. I think it's pretty even, to be honest. I really do. Big up to Joe DC in the chat. Nice of you to drop by, sir. I see it as a 50-50 fight, Adam. I see it as 50-50 right now. Chris Hughes, he says he can't wait until Callum Smith beats Canelo. I think you might be a little bit disappointed this weekend, bro. I can't see it, mate. I can't see it. 4 weeks training, late notice. I can't see it, man. Coming off a real bad performance against John Ryder, again, a smaller man like Canelo, I think he's going to get tuned up. Like I said, I think he's going to do his best Joshua Clottey impression. He's going to shell up. He's going to take some body shots. He's going to take some shots on the gloves. He's not really going to throw much back. I think he's going to get beat wide UD, Callum Smith. I don't think he's going to get stopped like a lot of people do, but I think he gets beat comfortably on points. I think he gets beat comfortably. Joe DC, big fight weekends, week after week lately. We've been well served recently as boxing people. Yeah, it's not been too bad, bro. It's not been too bad. Not been too bad at all. Prince Nassim versus Emmanuel Augustus. That's a random fantasy fight, Nicolino Loche. It's a random fantasy fight. I'd go Prince Nassim though, late knockout. BG, do you know what, actually? That's a good point. He was supposed to fight this weekend against some random journeyman, but he's not on BoxRec anymore, so whether that fight fell through or not, I'm not entirely sure. So I don't know. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. That's one of my quotes. When did I say that? You're a pussy, old bruv. When did I say that? That's jokes. Stephen Lawler, Yard has a lot of potential and is a good boxer, but he needs to just get rid of the yes man around him, in my opinion. Seems to me he's got a bit of Eubank Jr. mentality. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good comparison, Stephen Lawler. That's a really good comparison because I've said the same thing about Chris Eubank Jr. To me, if he took his if he was with a good trainer earlier on, which he respected, I think Eubank Jr. would be a much better fighter than he is now. I think it's a very good comparison. Those two, that's a very good comparison. Mr. Relax, I think Adam Booth would be great for Anthony Yard. Yeah, do you know what? Adam Booth gets mentioned a lot as like a meme when a British boxer needs a trainer. But, Anthony Yard is very explosive, fast twitch muscles, power puncher. Historically, that's the sort of fighter Adam Booth has trained. Guys like David Hay, George Groves, for example. That's who he's had most success with, that sort of explosive fighter. So Adam Booth could work. It wouldn't be the worst idea, in my opinion. Certainly wouldn't be the worst. Do you know what, Adam? I saw an interview with the title saying that. I've not watched it, but listen, if John Ryder wins this weekend, if Golovkin wins this weekend, and neither guy can get any other fight, I'd watch Golovkin versus John Ryder. Why not? It'd be a fun fight. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Golovkin is still too dangerous at 38. He's still certainly dangerous. I think the guy's on the slide now, personally, but he's still very dangerous. He can clearly whack. And he's still got that jab to fall back on, those fundamentals. He's still going to be a threat for anybody. Nobody's going to wash Golovkin even now, in my opinion. I don't see it. I really don't see it. Stephen Lawler, he would favour Plant to beat Benavidez and Smith. As much as I don't like Billy Joe Saunders, I think he would be the tough fight stylistically for Plant to deal with. Yeah, I just don't trust Caleb Plant at all. I would pick Callum Smith and Benavidez. I'd certainly pick Benavidez. Callum Smith right now, it's hard to really judge him because he's not fought in a minute. And obviously that last performance against John Ryder was horrible. So it's kind of hard to really see where Callum Smith is at right now. Plant didn't agree to take a dive, so Canelo moved on. Well, apparently right hook boxing, a lot of people are saying it's in talks. A lot of people are saying it's in talks. But yeah, that's a good fight. I like that fight, Caleb Plant, Eubank Jr. I think Eubank Jr. is really going to test him as well. It rings a bell. It rings a bell. That's jokes. Oh, Chancey Welliver. Yeah, he's a big fat guy, J-Dab. He's a big fat guy. Is there any other ginger boxing great besides Canelo? Ginger boxing greats. Steve Collin was a ginger, but you wouldn't say he was necessarily a great fighter, but he was a very good fighter. Ginger fighters, you guys are going to have to enlighten me on that one. Matt says even the lower level trainer like Martin Bowers would be better. Sorry, even the lower level trainer like Martin Bowers would be a better step up for Yard than staying with Tunde. I think I agree, bro. He needs somebody who's going to challenge him, That's what he needs. Look at Beasley London. He's getting behind Savannah Marshall. I'm not a fan, bro. I'm not a fan. Yeah, Jay Dev, I totally agree in regards to Lawrence Okole. He seems to have ambition. The guy never really had many amateur fights, and he stepped up quite nicely. Guys like Matty Askin, Yves Ngabu, he's ready to fight for a world title now. So in 16 fights, he's had 15 fights. Okole's done some real good stuff. His style has been the problem, and I can see why people don't like him based on his style. But for me now, under Shane McGuigan, he's really starting to come into his own. He's doing a better job of gauging distance. He's using that jab a bit more effectively. He's taking half-step backs, and he's creating space for that straight right hand. To me, Lawrence Okole is really coming on well under Shane McGuigan. He's going to be a real problem at cruiserweight. I truly believe that. He'll certainly be a champion at cruiserweight. There's no doubt about that. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. He's come on a long way. And I think a lot of it is down to Shane McGuigan. And I think it's just the perfect trainer for him. I really do. I think he's doing really well. I think he's doing really well right now. Matt, he says, I can see Golovkin bowing out of a sport with a sad shot to bits KO loss in the end once it's all said and done. Something unthinkable once upon a time. You wouldn't be surprised, bro. It's happened to a lot of great fighters. I mean, you go back to Julio Cesar Chavez when he fought Costa Zhu, when he was shot to bits in that fight and he got fucking sparked. You know, it's happened to a lot of great fighters. Roberto Duran against William Joppy, for example, that was a sad, sad state of affairs. Maybe it could happen with Golovkin. He's still got a few fights left on his deal as well, Golovkin. So he's 38 now. He's 39 in April. So it could happen. Even the best chins eventually get cracked. They deteriorate. It's like the sea waves hitting a cliff over and over again. Eventually, that starts to crumble. Barry McGuigan was ginger-ish. Was he? I don't know. Was he? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Yeah, Kovalev certainly fought a bad fight against Canelo. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. He see, my theory was that he was kind of very circumspect because he was basically dehydrated because of a rehydration clause. And that's the reason I don't think he was committing to punches. He was trying to keep it on the outside, outpoint Canelo, and do it that way. That was my theory anyway. Because to me, Kovalev never really had a great gas tank. And on top of that, having a rehydration clause, it's got to fuck with your head, And I think that's the reason why Kovalev fought the way he fought. That's my theory. Other people think it's more sinister than that. And that's their opinion. That's just their opinion, It is what it is. We've all got one. Yeah, Lemieux right now is looking terrible as well, Nordic. He's looking terrible. He fought at 168 after he collapsed at the weigh-in. And he fought Max Bursak. He got dropped twice, I believe, in that fight. It looked really horrible. Fuck's sake, Abelax. I want to smell Ebony Bridges. Jesus Christ. To me, she's not all that, bro. She's not all that. Yeah, I thought he looked good, BG. I know it was a late replacement, and the guy he was fighting really wasn't any good. But we've seen Lawrence Okolie fight a journeyman before, where he's kind of loose, he's wild, he's kind of smothering his work, he clinches, even against journeyman. But this time, you could see him taking that half step back, taking a little more time to pick his shots, far more accurate, setting up his right hand really well. I just saw signs of improvement for Lawrence Okolie, and I think he's going in the right direction. I really do. And when you look at all of these 2016 Olympians, Lawrence Okolie right now is arguably doing the best. The other guy being Joe Joyce. But when you look at guys like Buatsi, Fowler, Cordina, Lawrence Okolie is doing far better than those guys. No doubt. There's no doubt about that. I think he's doing well. Anyone know what fuck me, Matt. Anyone know what kind of trafficking Isaac Chamberlain is doing? Man's flexing Bugattis and has a bank account you need 0.75 million the bank just to open. How he's managed that off just 100k Okolie payday. There you go, bro. That's interesting. I never knew that. I never knew that. Whatever he's doing, listen, all power to him. All power to him. All power to him. He seems like a pretty smart guy. Isaac Chamberlain doesn't seem like an idiot, so maybe he's figured something out outside of the ring. But fair play to him. Fair play to him. Honestly, Nicolino, I don't really give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck, honestly. All power to her. I'm not a fan. I don't like female boxing. I don't like Clarissa Shields, so whatever. I don't really care. Golovkin versus Charlo, who have you got if that fight happens? I think it's much more competitive now than it was a few years ago, no doubt about it. I think I would still favour Golovkin, though, based on that jab, the power of Golovkin. Charlo's never fought anything like that before, so I'd probably still favour Golovkin, but Charlo's chances right now, there's no doubt about that. If Charlo's ever going to beat Golovkin, it's right now. So I think that's very competitive. It'll be a fun fight because Charlo's a boxer puncher. He holds his feet. He really commits to that jab. He throws a lot into that right hand. And Golovkin's a boxer puncher / pressure fighter / kind of, aggressive counter puncher. So those two styles are going to gel extremely well. It'd be a very good fight. I'd favour Golovkin, but not confidently. I wouldn't be super confident. I've not seen him, to be honest, Boxing Brains. I've not seen him. Huey's not a baby anymore. Entertaining fight against Whack. Yeah, do you know what? Huey Fury, that was the most entertaining Huey Fury fight I think I've ever seen. I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Pleasantly surprised. I still don't think he's going to go that far, but at least it was kind of fun to watch. It was still pretty fun to watch. Yeah, I've not got it yet, D. I've not got it yet, D. I'm gonna sign up this week at some point before the Golovkin Seth Moretta fight, and I'll watch the Canelo fight as well. He was still going to be a baby in his 40s. He's like Will Ferrell from Step Brothers. Yeah, the whole Huey Fury is only 20x age is fucking. It's a joke. The same way Lemieux lost his first fight is how I see Berlanga losing. Yeah, Lemieux was actually doing kind of a similar thing before he got beat. He was kind of icing everybody, getting highlight reel KOs. I think, who was it who beat Lemieux in his first fight? Was it Alcine? I think it was Alcini, whatever his name is. Or was it Rubio? One of the two. It was either Rubio or Alcine. I forget who it was, but yeah. He basically got fucking exposed. Because basically, yeah, Lemieux never fought anybody of any decency before he fought those guys in Rubio and Alcine. So you could see it happening to Berlanga. Yeah, I'd say so, Adam Moore. I don't really follow the sport personally with female boxing. I don't follow it, but from what I've seen, I would say yes. I would say yes. I'm presuming he posted it, D, on social media. I'm presuming he posted it. But listen, man, fair play to the kid. Every time I've seen that guy in interviews, he's come across extremely well. So, all power to him. If you're driving a Bugatti at his age, fair play to him. Can't hate on that. Yes, I think it was Rubio, Johnny. I think it was Rubio. I think it was Alcine after Rubio because he lost 2 fights close together. And after that he kind of came back, rebranded, got a bit better. Matt, he says Dubois' career could be on the skids now. In recent years, no fighter has been the same after similar eye injuries in both boxing and MMA. Might be jumping the gun, but it could be a wrap already. Yeah. So what was it? So basically, it was a fractured orbital bone and bleeding on the retina, which sounds pretty fucking bad. He's still very young, which is a good sign, I guess. I guess it's more time to recover. But I mean, if I was Dubois, if I was managing Dubois, I think I would say to him, just have a whole year out. Just make sure you're totally fine, totally recovered, and then after that we can resume our career. But I would be having a long time out of a ring if I was Dubois. I really would do. Even if I got the all clear in 6 months, I would give it more time personally. But you're right though. I mean, look at Kell Brook, never the same fighter. Antonio Margarito, never the same fighter. Those sort of injuries really are career altering or career ending. So hopefully Dubois can hopefully Dubois can buck that trend and just get back to his old self. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Nordic Warrior, they should hire me as the DAZN commentator. I'd listen, bro. Bro, I mean, who is it on DAZN right now? Sergio Mora and somebody else. They are absolutely awful. Absolutely horrendous. I mean, Christ. Fuck me, they're awful. Christ. Yeah, hopefully this DAZN UK thing works, though. Hopefully we get some good quality boxing for value for money. Hopefully it works out. You can't really argue with £1.99 a month though to start. You can't argue with that. That's very cheap. I'm as tight as fuck, as you guys probably know. And £1.99 sounds like a steal, so I'll definitely do it. Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think that's one of DAZN's problem. Um, the name of DAZN is fucking stupid, absolutely stupid. They should have called it something more, just more edgy, more not edgy. That's the wrong term, but just more catchy and more simple. Like if somebody saw that just like on text as like an internet advert, for example, you saw that on the internet, DAZN, blah blah blah. If you've never heard of DAZN, what are you going to call it? Dazen? Who would come to the DAZN? You wouldn't even know what it's called by seeing it first time. I mean, it's a terrible name. There's no doubt about it. But I like the concept. I really like the concept. Hopefully it succeeds. Hopefully it succeeds. Yeah, Huey's 26 now. We can't keep on saying Huey's only a baby. 26 years old. I know that's young for a heavyweight still, but fuck me. Yeah, that's fucking a pain in the ass. Nordic and AA. That's an absolute pain in the ass. I know a couple of people actually who are kind of in between jobs right now. They're trying to apply for something new. Things are falling through, because of various new lockdown rules and whatnot. It's an absolute nightmare for a lot of people. I feel for you guys, man. I really do. I feel for you. Look at Jay Dev, man, cussing me out. Fucking hell. If women's boxing had a super heavyweight division, they would be all over it. Isaac made some smart investments. Isaac Money Chamberlain. No, big up to Isaac, man. Seems like a nice guy. I think Joshua's new weight's perfect. A Black so free. I think it's perfect. I think that's the sort of weight in which he should be fighting at around 240. I think he looks good. I think he moves a lot better. His punches look a lot more fluid. That's for sure. And he looks to have more hand speed as well. So yeah, I think it's much better for him. And obviously, theoretically, it should actually improve his gas tank as well. So 240 for me, Joshua, perfect. Perfect. Why is it Huey Fury shut out whack, outperforming White, has continued to improve, but people still write him off? I don't know. I think it's with Huey, a lot of it's down to style. I'm not a big Huey fan, I have to confess. We've seen Dillian White beat good guys like Joseph Parker, for example, Oscar Rivas. Huey's not really got that level of win. So yeah, Huey did actually outperform Dillian, but he needs to build that resume, to be honest. He needs to build that resume. But it's a good start for Huey. That's the sort of fight he needed against a tough gatekeeper who's durable. He took it to him. He boxed well at times as well. It's time to build now. It's time to build. The fight that needs to happen is Huey Fury versus Martin Bakole. That's the fight. Make it happen. Make it happen. Kosei Tanaka fractured both orbital bones in a fight and is even better than he used to be. That's a good shout. Intangible. See, that's why it's always good to have intangible in the house, man. That's perfect. That's a good example. Inoue as well had some sort of. Did he have some sort of fracture to his orbital or cheekbone? Can't fucking speak. Yeah, hopefully he's okay, bro. He's still very young, so fingers crossed he gets through it. Okay, so the zone is Chris Mannix, Sergio Mora, and Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay. Yeah, Sergio Mora is horrible, by the way. Absolutely horrible. Really poor commentator, in my opinion. Chris Mannix, not much better either. He's useless. Huey versus Kevin Johnson would make sense. See if he can do better than the other prospects. Do you know what, Nordic? I don't think I could sit through it, mate. I don't think I could sit through it. I want to see fucking Huey versus Bacole. Why not? Make that fight. Make that fucking fight. Why not? Even Huey Fury versus Sergey Kuzmin would be decent right now. And by the way, Sergey Kuzmin, I've got to say, Sergey Kuzmin, this guy let me down, yeah. I picked the upset. I picked Sergey Kuzmin to win. I got it wrong, right? But the thing that really pissed me off, that guy went in there looking like the fucking Pillsbury Doughboy. He was out of shape. He had titties. Kuzmin turned up like an absolute state. However, the times he put his punches together, the time he went for it, he looked like the better fighter. The guy was so poorly conditioned, he lost that fight. It wasn't because Bacole was a better boxer or a better fighter. It's because fucking Kuzmin is a fat cunt. I was absolutely seething with Sergey Kuzmin in that fight. Honestly, the guy, man, he could have won that fight. I'm telling you, he could have won that fight. Bacole, he did his thing. He outpointed him, outworked him, but Kuzmin was an absolute disgrace in that fight. Absolute disgrace. Christ. I was fuming. I thought I was onto something here, picking the upset, and I could see it, but the guy was just too fucking fat. Not enough gas. Fuming. Big up to Shepherd of Sons, man. Nice of you to drop by, bro. Salute to Shepherd of Sons every single time. He's just a baby. Huey Fury got robbed versus Parker, lost because of a cut versus Pulev, and his pimple popped against Povetkin, making him unable to focus. There's always something with Huey Fury, isn't there? Always something. Yeah, it's bad. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, the DAZN commentary for me is the worst. PBC commentary is pretty poor as well. Sky Sports commentary is poor, but DAZN just have no energy at all. And all it is fucking cheerleading for the most part. It's really poor. Not worth watching Sean Atwood Part 1 clickbait. What are you talking about, AZ, by the way? What are you talking about? Are you talking about that Dominic Negus interview with Sean Atwood? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure who you're talking about, bro. Del, who has the best chance to beat Teofimo Lopez? At 135, do you mean? Well, at 135, I don't think Ryan Garcia is ready. I think Tank could be too small for Teofimo. Devin Haney, I've just got no idea how good he is. Do you know what? Believe it or not, I'd probably still say Lomachenko just because the other guys are so unproven. I can't really say anybody else other than that right now, in all honesty. I know Teofimo beat him first time around, and I scored that fight for Teofimo, but I mean, I can't really count on the other guys right now. They're not really doing enough for me anyway. We'll see what happens. We'll see how good we'll see how good Ryan looks against Luke Campbell for a start. Yeah, so basically, BG London, yeah, DAZN UK are only showing the USA Matchroom cards, Golden Boy cards. That's what's going to start anyway. That's how it's going to start. But yeah, at 140, no doubt, Josh Taylor, I'd pick to beat Teofimo. Jose Ramirez would be a very hard fight. Regis Prograis at 140, I'd pick Prograis. Who else is at 140? I forget. Jose Cepeda would be a very hard fight. 140 is full of killers who can punch. So 140 is a lot more tough for Teofimo. But at 135, I've got to say, still, even now, his hardest rival's Lomachenko. That's my opinion anyway. Damn, Johnny's got fucking Teofimo over Josh Taylor. I've got Josh Taylor, bro. That guy's hard as fucking nails. If it comes to a dogfight, one thing I can say, one thing I'm confident in, if it comes to a dogfight, I think he'll drown Teofimo. I really do. The way Teofimo responded against the little Lomachenko in the second half of their fight, you know, wasn't necessarily encouraging going into like a Josh Taylor fight. What happens if Josh Taylor kind of drags him into a war, works the body, gets on top of him, makes it real rough and tough? I think Taylor could drown Teofimo personally, but you never know. Teofimo at 140 could carry more power, could be more fresh. So who knows? What we do know is Teofimo is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. Yeah, I've still got Fury, D. I've still got Fury, but I've never completely wrote AJ off. He's always had a puncher's chance against Fury. He's always had a puncher's chance against anybody, Anthony Joshua. But right now, I am favouring Fury. I've been back and forth on it in certain degrees, but right now, I'm certainly favouring Fury. Just need to see it happen. Yeah, 100%, Johnny. It's a very fun fight. Fuck me, I fucking lost where I was. Yeah, so it was his orbital bone against Daenerys. Okay, I wondered whether it was his cheekbone or orbital bone. Okay. See, I still want to see Lopez fight Devin Haney personally. I want to see Lopez fight Devin Haney and then whatever happens, move up to 140. That's what I want to see personally. And we'll see how good Tiafino is. There's a lot of fighters who can get that one big win and they never really build on it. So hopefully Tiafimo's not a flash in the pan, but we'll see. I like his style. I do like Tiafimo's style. See, Do you know what, bro? I honestly believe Regis Prograis would knock out Tiafimo. Honestly, I think Prograis genuinely is an excellent, excellent fighter, a brilliant fighter. Power in both hands. He can carry out a variety of styles. Fight on the inside, fight on the outside. He can counter. He can work the body, sound defensively. Prograis to me is a very good fighter. I think he's made a wrong decision signing with a PBC if he wants to campaign at 140, though. I'll say that much. But I think Prograis would beat Teofimo. These kids at 140 are no joke. Taylor, Prograis, Ramirez, Zapita, even Postal, guys like that. These guys are not joke. These guys are no jokes. Yeah, AA boxing and blunts. I thought the fight was closer than the commentary were making out, but I still felt Bacole nicked it. But you say Kuzmin's team have said they want a rematch. They said Bacole won a close fight because he was the home fighter. I think Bacole genuinely won, to be honest, but it was closer than the judges had it, in my opinion. Sergey Kuzmin, aka the Russian butterbean. That's what he fucking looked like, bro. He looked horrendous in there. He looked horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. As Dee said, a fat waste. That's the best way I could put it. Because the guy actually has, I wouldn't say he's super talented, but there is some ability there. You could see when he was actually committing to his punches and his jab and whatever. He had better punch technique than Bacole. Bacole was there for the taking, in my opinion. But Kuzmin, absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Who's the bigger name in the UK and the world, Joshua or Fury? I can't really say for the world because I'm not sure how other countries perceive these guys. But in the UK, I would still say Joshua, but that gap has bridged dramatically in the last 2 years. I will say that that gap has bridged dramatically. Joshua used to be the standout, but Fury came back, had his first fight with Wilder, beat Wilder obviously in the rematch, and after that, Fury's name has gone through the roof in the UK. So I'd probably still lean towards Joshua in terms of analytics. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really basing that on anything. I'm basing that on just assumption, but I'd say Joshua still may be the bigger name. Matt, he says Bacole's never 27 in a million fucking years. He looks more like fucking 35, doesn't he? Martin Bacole. He's a decent fighter, Bacole. He's decent. He's not a bad fighter. Top 5 heavyweights in order, in your opinion. So Fury, Joshua. Fury, Joshua. Wilder, Povetkin, Usyk. Right now, just random. I've not put any thought into that, by the way, so don't take that as gospel. I would need to really think about it, but that's just off the top of my head. No more tall guys for Tiafimo. Yeah, by the way, shout out to Nakatani. Fucking smashed up fucking Felix Verdejo. Knocked him out, man. That was a good fight. Nakatani got dropped twice, and he came back to knock out Verdejo. That was a really good fight if you've not seen it. Really good fight. These Japanese kids, man, every single time, you've never seen a Japanese fighter lack heart. Every single time these guys can get fucking cracked and they're going to keep on getting up or they take it. Crazy stuff, man. Very, very tough guys out there. Really, really tough guys. I'll tell you what, Nakatani could be a good little test for Devin Haney, actually. In my opinion, that'd be a good little test. Stephen Lawler, Teofimo Postal or Teofimo Zepeda would also be good fights. Yep, very good fights. Be safe. Time Booth was threatened by Joshua to get him out of the gym. Be safe. uh, Duck, he says, I think Teofimo could beat Jose Ramirez, to be honest. Yeah, Jose Ramirez right now is kind of looking a little bit lackluster. Wasn't as good in his last fight. It seems to be, I don't know, Jose Ramirez at his best, though. I think he could be a bit of a nightmare for Teofimo. He'd make Teofimo work really, really hard. Can Teofimo hurt Jose Ramirez or stop him in his tracks? I'm not sure. I don't think he can match Teofimo. Sorry, I don't think Teofimo can match Ramirez in terms of pure output or anything like that. I think that'd be a hard fight. That'd be a hard fight. I see that one as a 50-50. No worries, official man. No worries. Kuzmin's always going to be known as the guy that KO'd Joyce in the amateurs. Yeah, pretty much, bro. Pretty much. He's not really going to do, anything at world level. Sergey Kuzmin. He's a good little test. He can punch a bit, but that's really it with Sergey Kuzmin. He's a fat mess, essentially. And I agree with his statement as well. Bacole's far too friendly at top level. No killer instinct. I agree. A lot of arm punches against Sergey Kuzmin. He was working well, good punch output, but he wasn't putting venom into a lot of those shots. I don't really see him beating the top guys personally. That's why I want to see Huey Fury versus Bacole. I think both guys right now are on a similar level, and obviously the winner can move forwards. I think that'll be a good fight for both guys. I really do. Yeah, that's a good point. That happens a lot. Kuzmin was another fighter who peaked in the amateurs, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe you're right, bro. He certainly looked a lot more. He looked a lot quicker in the amateurs, Sergey Kuzmin, both with hand and foot. A lot more dynamic in the amateurs. If you watch his highlights, yeah, maybe he left it too late. Maybe he peaked in the amateurs. Eddie Hearn just saying White could fight Luis Ortiz before Povetkin. Interesting. I'd watch it. Very risky fight though. People shit on Luis Ortiz, say he's old, he's old, he's old. But listen, he would give Dillian White a lot of problems. Trust me, he would give Dillian a lot of problems. Apparently from what I've heard, Povetkin's not going to be ready for January. That's what I've heard. He's not going to be ready till for January. So it looks like maybe Dillian's going to have a fight in the interim. But if they get that wrong, if they fight Luis Ortiz and lose again, they're fucked. They're done. You know what I mean? So I would just wait for Povetkin. Just wait for Povetkin. Wait him out and get that rematch. Does Bacole have a shot against Maris Briedis? Briedis is clearly a better fighter, but obviously Bacole is the bigger man, so I think naturally it'll be competitive, but I would favour Briedis, personally. I'd take Briedis. Oh, did he really? Nakatani fractured his orbital bone in that Verdejo fight. Okay. I do like Nakatani, though. It was good to see him back. It was good to see him back. Real good fight that was. That's a real good fight. Yeah, it was, Johnny. It was a very good fight. I was looking forward to that one. I said on my betting video for the weekend's fights, I said that Nakatani was very good value at 4-1 to win, and I got him. I believe I got him at 9-1 by knockout. So very good odds on Nakatani this weekend, and I made a bit of money, so that was always good. But very good fight. Triple J, he says Nakatani has a win versus Tio and Verdejo. Me personally, I thought the Teofimo fight was very close. I edged it towards Teofimo based on the harder shots, but it was a close fight. Nakatani is definitely a tricky fighter for anybody in that weight class. Tall, rangy, carries a bit of power, nice jab, does the fundamentals well. He's a good fighter, Nakatani. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing Nakatani fight Devin Haney. I think that would be a good test. I certainly believe it would be. I believe it would be Devin Haney's best opponent. Tell you that much. Be a good fight. J-Dev, I had an accumulator of a Cole by stoppage, Marku win, and Joshua in 3 rounds, completely robbed. Yeah. So I had Joshua in rounds. I had an accumulator as well, and the only thing, well, there's a couple of bits that let me down. There's no point even saying, but yeah, I feel your pain. That's a good shout, Duck. Richard Comey versus Nakatani. That's a good shout. Although, Duck, I've heard that Richard Comey's fighting Jackson Marinez, who got robbed against Rolly Romero, the guy who fought Romero. That's who Comey's fighting next. So that'd be a good fight. You think so, Johnny? I think you'd give Lomachenko a hard fight. I think Lomachenko would win, though. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up. We've been going for an hour and a half. Pretty much what I expected. Just a real quick one kind of thing. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll try and do a few more over the Christmas period because I'll have a bit more time. But yeah, man, if you could smash the like as well, that's always appreciated. It always helps me out. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.